Yeah, that's why I'm the one to teach him. Yeah, like dude, like it's crazy how it's crazy how literally my funnel literally just proved itself. Like even if I don't close this deal, which I don't, that's not even an option. But like even if I don't close this deal, I feel like I already succeeded because literally from cold to like to call to like I'm about to send a quote. Like that is the most amazing thing that happened this week to me. And I literally just solved like a tech problem from like $1 billion company. Yes. Cold call quote. Gotcha. Locked in. Yeah. Locked in. Video sales letter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Essentially, yes. Oh my god, this is crazy. Yeah. Okay, that was the click of Roland's solution just going live. Okay, let's see. Okay, we need to fix all of the emails in this one. The email address that everyone must be reaching me is Dennison at bluesprintsmedia.com. In fact, I noticed that you have a habit to make up emails that don't exist. Make sure you're always using this email or asking me before you do that. Yeah, it's like oh, I'm assuming it's this because it's like no, you could just like I've never given you that email address. Like, we're not playing pretend. This is real life. This is real CEOs that need to be in my inbox. Real venture capitalists that are literally about to see me like go crazy on this MCP. Like this is literally crazy. Every single one of these documents is a case study of how my MCP integrates. It's like it's just perfect. And runthechanges.com, that's what I think I said this before. It sounds familiar, but I'm going to say it again. Runthechanges.com is the solution that I'm going to give to MuseScore. That I'm giving to MuseScore. It's like the problem with MuseScore that they're having is that they are so behind technologically that they're probably going to be acquired. They lost a lot of money. They basically had a lot of goals. Every company had a lot of AI goals, but then they realized that they didn't have the talent. to sustain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I bet they had the talent for a second. Well, also they're one offer away from getting outbid by another company for the developers they need, and the developers are not musical always that musical. So like they're like, if you find a me, right, and somebody like Google says, I'm going to pay you more to do this, I'm going to say yes, and you're going to be asked out of like a me, like, and that's hard to replace, you know. It's like it's just too much. That's too much knowledge to try to replace. Exactly. Yeah, and no, mum's the word. Jack's community is my cheat code, bro. Like I'm seeing everyone's. Oh, I'm an AI consultant. I'm like, yo, I could build you under the fucking water. like, I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not even trying to be cocky about it. It's just like it's so obvious that you're using Manus AI, and I'm like, and I'm building Manus AI. Like we are not the same. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't. I just can't believe what happened. That's the fucking coolest shit. That literally means that that literally means that my I can actually pay for ads and validate it. Holy shit! Like, if I make $1,000 on this Google find, that means that I should take a percentage of my income on what I get technically and put it back into ads. You know, to facsimile the situation. Make. Oh yeah, let me push these two. Let me see if I can send this to you. Yeah, dude, that'd be crazy. Yeah. All right. Actually, wait here. No, hold on a second here. Come to Brainstorm. The only thing about having a Google phone is this talking between my computer is a real pain in the dick. It's also the reason why they made it impossible because it's not like the technology doesn't exist. Thankfully, I could build it. Who cares? Apple's disappointed me so bad.
All right, let's see. Is my headphones connected actually? No, it's not. MacBook speakers.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's just you're on my MacBook speakers and I'm
Gotcha.
going to my headphones. I think you're, yeah. Okay, that should be good. I've just been eating watermelon, cucumber, and berries with feta cheese with mint.
Sounds lovely.
'Cause I feel like I can't eat anything else or I won't be able to think. I love your background, by the way.
Yeah, this is actually one of the first things I made in it's backwards, but is it backwards to you?
Mm,
Huh.
that
Like
looks good.
the text is
It's Bluesprints Media or Bluesprints.ai. Looks good. It's not backwards.
let's rock with it. Um so okay, here we go. So I can share with you what is going on my end. I'll show you Claude. Okay, so this is let's actually open this in a browser. Wait, no, you're not gonna
If you
see.
get a second, please look at that link I sent you. It was actually like crazy.
Oh, for sure, I will. Um, so actually, I can do both. Let me see if I could push this. Man, and this thing pushed to NPM the wrong fucking email address. Like, really? NPM of all things, like the most permanent thing ever, ever. Ugh, oh well.
You're on like version number point five. That was fine.
0.5.2. It's the first version with MPC name in package JSON, which unlocks the listing NPM package in their official MCP versions. Okay, good. Yeah, whatever. Do it right. Anyway, okay. So
You
here,
got it.
the idea is this: right down here, every single one of these, Roland Cloud, Stable Audio, MuseScore, Audio Tool, C Sound. Every single one of these has a a case study of
Mm.
how it works with the um, the software with the MCP. So this is showing you how you can use the word. This is the default. You can't hear that yet, can you?
I can hear it.
Okay. Now that is the default. Now the word changed to say darker. Like if you use the word darker, it's going to translate that into a certain field in C sound. So it'll sound different, the timbre.
Mm.
So it understands in a
Colloquial.
language way. Right? This one was when you say brighter.
Mhm.
So it just proves that like we can talk in this way, and this is the background mechanism of the vibe coding studio. That's the other thing, Chandler. By the way, let me see if I can list this properly. MCP, and make sure I'm staying on time. The MCP plus run the changes, RTC, plus uh, the Vibe Studio. Those are all like in house what we built. Any one of those already is a proof that we can be in this hackathon and use just like build it, keep going, right? Uh, what's really interesting is that the MCP is so sticky. Like I said, we can either do a performance that shows off the thing, or we could be like, I'll show you all of these pages down here where the MCP fits into the stack, and here's the solution, here's the repo. Have a good time.
Can you please go to that link that I sent you to, just to include that into the presentation? As I burned through all my Opus 5 tokens in Cursor for that freaking animation.
And that's in
Tim, what's up? I can send it to you again.
No, it's good. Okay.
Got it.
Oh yeah, I did miss it. Okay, no wonder. I was looking at the. I thought I saw that video. Theory pulse, man, that's crazy. Watch when we get like the aura ring and like and actually have real biofeedback.
All right. And Trey, he's so in tune. He was giving like so much feedback. He was like right in the conversation.
The implications of this is massive. You could model like a sound healing chamber.
All right. And and what Trey was saying, like that game that we were talking about yesterday, like that's just the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, the gamifying is to prove to other people that there's tech behind this that they're like, what the hell? Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no one buys the MPC, like MCP. No one cares. Like,
All right.
my whole business premise is that no one cares until they care.
Would you be able to share the pulse on the screen? Because I want to like see your mind as you're like interacting with it. So I feel like it'll help me understand like how to bring in a certain direction.
2 secs. Let me see.
And then integrating what you're showing me, like a prompt where you can, a place where you can prompt, because that's all we need to do. We need a transcript to transcript, like my workflow, which transcript to transcript. So you put in a transcript as your like source of truth feed, and then you prompt it, and that's what like having the at the top of the head like a star. So every time you prompt it, it shows like a certain like lightning, and that pulses your environment.
Do I have the repo?
No, I can send it.
Yeah, it might be helpful to play with that. That'd be cool. Oh, that's why it broke. Man, there's a lot of little tech. Man, I need that computer, bro. I need that computer.
On your computer.
Oh.
It's working. It's thinking. It's burning through choking.
I'm. This computer is the hero of my life. This. Let me just Core i5, 16 gigabytes from 2017. Okay, let's just you know. So when I say you don't need any fucking extra tools, I really mean that. I live that.
Dude, that's why I love Claude. Like Claude, you can cook
Yeah, you could cook.
pretty easily.
All right, let me see.
You just have to stay off of like Kevin's thread, doing all the like herder and team ups and storing things locally. That's when things get tricky.
Oh, oh, you're in sound here. Me? Oh, all right. I'll have to look at that in a second. Okay, give me a list of all of the websites that we just made in the last 24 hours, and make sure they're all pushed and live.
How many did you make?
5 from
Wow.
case studies. Like I said, stable. Like that's how I know stable audio is proven. That's the first thing I did. I was like, stable audio
Is
was
that your
MuseScore.
Was that VSL?
You
Is it
can.
your VSL flow?
I didn't do the VSLs yet. I yeah, I'm doing the science first. I'm doing the make sure it works
Yeah.
first. Then ultimate goal is to point them all to um, ultimate goal is to point them all um, to a GitHub repo, and maybe put the GitHub repo behind school. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I don't care. Like I just like right now, I just need it to be out so I can show, so I can like send the link to you and be like, just like look at it and tell me like, this is.
Right.
I hope I'm not
I'm
giving.
just I'm thinking about like the one thing we can both focus on. And I had a really hard, like full body yes
Mhm.
when we are talking about the school communities and the 100 members and the VSL strategy.
Yeah. Okay. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. Cool. All six are pushed.
Dude, honestly, focusing on that first, not saying you put everything else and throw in the fire, you know,
Focusing on what?
the school strategy first might, like, I have a strong conviction that that's actually a good heading, like
So
steering at the helm wise.
that's the net right now. I'm like I'm getting the honey. You know the bait.
Okay.
Here's the
Yeah, I see what you're
here's
saying. I
the
see what you're saying.
here's the problem. Like and the advice of business owners is like really good in this place where it's like build it before you're ready kind of stuff, right? But if I build it before I'm ready, I give away my IP to people who are my direct competition. So I have to build it, secure it, then catch them. Otherwise, I fuck myself over in like 2 days.
Yeah, it's tricky because, yeah, because the ship analogy isn't one to one. It's like you're kind of selling the ship too. So it's like you're getting support, you're selling the ship, but you also have to make sure that you don't, they can't see it. They can't see the ship because they'll replicate it.
They
So
can't
it's
know
kind
when, yeah, they can't really know what dock it's coming in or anything like that. But I have to have a
of,
purpose.
yeah, right. It has to be an invisible ship, and like pretty much, like you can't see how it's doing what it's doing, but
Right.
it has to be
So,
invisible.
so
Like
if I build
like
the thing
the
like right,
Davy Jones locker. What's that ship in Pirates of the Caribbean?
the the
Black Pearl.
Black Pearl.
You
Yeah,
need to make it the Black Pearl, bro.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, and the Trojan horse is I'm sorry. And if it's a Trojan horse, theory is the thing that are the soldiers inside because it's like oh look a big old horse and it's like oh no we really need like the thing the meat of it's really there. So anyway, that's the reason I'm doing this so hard though, because it's like it's positioning me as the authority in the space, right? And I'm saying no, I already made these solutions, not oh come to my world. Because other thing that I don't want to have happen is someone coming into basically my company and being like, "Oh, you can do this," and you like, no, I'm the main dev. Like, sorry, this is my shit. Like,
I
like,
am the captain
yeah, like,
now and forever.
yeah, like, very. Let's make it very clear that I built this ship, and now I'm the only one that knows how to steer it, and you're not going to take the helm, right? Like that's it needs to be so obvious because that's a it's is it a limiting belief? I don't know if it's a limiting belief. I think it's just
On that, man.
it's me being overprotective.
On that. No, that's good. You should do that and also be prepared for people who've met people like you and know how to pull their levers to like get
To get the what?
the pain up
Hmm.
for you to say yes.
Yeah, that's why it's I like what I'm doing here because it's so protected that it's like no, the repo is already there. I have to open it up for you to even get it. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's all perfect because like you can't once it's protected, it's protected.
Yeah, I spent the whole last week putting everything behind the MCP because I realized some of it was in front, and I was like, no, I need this to be trade secrets. So like now that the MCP is covered, now I'm okay with like putting out the research of how I'm integrating because even if I give
Right.
them the research, they have to use the MCP.
Right.
So check out the links I sent you in chat. They should be um, ready now.
Which one? You just want to click through all of them?
I mean, yeah, just I mean,
Okay.
one will lead to the next.
Okay. All right, so I'm in. Let me wait to me. On here. Okay, I clicked the first one. Solution stable audio. Okay, so this is for stable audio. Okay. Your model renders the sound. Theory supplies the harmony rail.
Yes, and I'm talking directly to the
Hmm.
person who I need the decision. I'm like, you're the decision maker. This is what's happening. And so that's
Right. It's like, yeah, it's like they
he's
have
like,
the train, you make the rail,
yeah. No,
the
I mean, like,
tracks.
I'm talking to you, CEO of Stability AI. This is what you did, and this is what I do. This is the way the tech works. And roll it.
Right.
These are your problems that you stated on your website. This is how MCP. This is the case study.
Mm. And dude, before you do it, I would actually love to sit down with you for like 30 minutes before you send it to the VP and the person you're showcasing it to, and just
I'm not.
making it crystal
I'm not,
clear that,
I'm not sending it to the VP channel. This is
or
us.
whoever,
This is
whomever.
this isn't. No, no. I mean, like the sending it to the VP is that this everything here is for uh, Montreal.
Got it. Okay.
You know, like and that's like it's like we could choose one or many of these to be
I
the.
see what you're saying now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why my mind went there.
It's
All
okay.
right. Same metal, same pump, same seed, regenerate. Text bar and seed never changes. That's good. Um, Switch sources mid playback and hear the difference at the same bar. That's huge. No other sound studio with AI does that, right?
Which
You can switch sources mid playback and hear the difference at the instance of the bar. No one can else can do that.
not this deterministically. They you can edit parts in Suno, but you cannot tell it exactly what to do and expect it.
You should call them out in the page. Like
Oh,
Suno
yeah.
does this theory's here. Do the benchmark test.
That's the landing page of Theory. Like Theory.ai is that. It
Oh,
compares
okay.
MCPs, but I didn't want to call out Suno, to be honest. No, I didn't. I didn't because if listen,
Oh,
if
hook
Suno sees
theory,
me and says
music
buy him,
21. I got it. Okay, so you're already yeah, you got it, yeah. All
yeah.
right, so I'm gonna hit play. BNC identical until bar 10 by design. Interesting. This is pretty cool. I like they can like play around with it. Follows a chart. Okay. We made generation fast and clean musicians ask for one more thing. All right. Stable audio 3 renders in seconds, unlicensed data with editing pros. Yeah, can't trust and hard infrastructure. All right, so the next question arrives with every working mission who picks it up. Can it follow my changes? That's the question this page answers. Determinants to accommodate served as infrastructure. This is good. I would say it's like not even like each of these, if I click on the other ones. Okay, here's the like prompting. Okay, this is audio tool. 6 ways in, every one of them ready. Okay, share? Can I share my screen because I want to have an idea how to like integrate. Because there has to be a reason I spent so much time on this freaking animation.
Hold on. Can you hold the thought? I have to focus on.
Yes, yes.
Give me 2 seconds. Uh, do, 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 do.
These are good. They're good.
Yep.
Deterministic is the bar. Like that's the through line for all of this. Deterministic.
Beautiful. Okay. Cool. So 35 people. My goal is $35, 100 people who learn this system of SEO. I'm gonna go to my agent. I'm gonna have this. Yeah. Okay. So the funny thing that happened is that earlier today, that call happened, and I didn't realize my computer was on mute, but my voice mode was on. So Claude was listening to my entire conversation with the bride, and I hit the volume. And I was like, "Oh crap, I was muted." And then I hit the volume up, and it was like, "What a great example of like how to do this." I'm glad you role played with me. And I was like, "You heard that whole thing?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That was a real bride. Turn that into a skill."
Yes, dude. Yes.
Like,
Dude, I don't know anybody else in the school community who constantly has that thought in their minds. Like, can I create this into a skill? Can I turn this into a skill?
Yeah, that's because they're being spoon-fed the agents instead of learning how to think, and that's the issue that you're picking up on, and that's the frustration I spoke about yesterday. Was like, yo, like, we all stop trying to be fucking cool and fucking solve a problem. Like, for Christ's sake, stop. Oh, I need a school community. No, you don't. Like, no, who goes to a school where they don't want to learn anything? Why should I go to your school
And the
community when I
teacher's
have this?
boring.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not sure what you're doing, how do you have a school idea? Like, stop just doing things because you're told to do it. God damn it, think.
Yeah, I can tell you're kind of holding back a little bit. Um, did, you know how many times, like, and I'll, like, the people in Jack's community who just joined, and it's like, hey guys, like, how do I do this? Like, that's acceptable. But once I start seeing people who have, like, who are like, and like Chelsea, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pick on Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I think make sure to invite her because I don't know if she's in her school community, but make sure to send her. She said she wanted to come.
Oh, shoot. No, I don't know how it's really right here. Let's see, find it. Boom. Let's copy the link. I send this to
Yeah,
page.
bless her heart. I can't tell if she's acting. I feel like she's acting.
Actually, wait, how do you mean?
When it comes to like, I feel like not acting as like her personality. I'm talking about like the fact that she's like not confident and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I
Yeah,
feel like that's acting.
it's super annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what is it valid? Is she like actually is there something I don't know about her? Like I'm kind of being serious. Like 'cause, like it's always confusing to me. Like I was just on the phone with Dominic, for example. Super cool guy, computer science in Pennsylvania. And he three people joined my school community today, by the way.
Book is the lowest, right? And then the higher and higher up that you go, the more and more that money you should make from your participants or your viewers or your audience or whomever, right? And so a one-time course that you make money from can be something amazing, right? Especially if a big part of it is a lot of time personally with you. Or if it's not that much personal time with you, then you have to charge us that much money for the course. Versus a community where you're also engaging with them. Again, that's more of you being put into whatever it is whatever your product is, So it should cost more, or at least the participant should come out of more pocket. So having those sorts of additional layers of value along the ladder of the road is amazing. Like, for example, if having, spending time with you costs you $20,000 or costs them $20,000, or it's $20,000 of the value to have a one-on-one with you for an hour or something like that, then realistically, there's no way that you could get $20,000 worth of value to one person through a book, through a course, through a book, through a course, through a community, through anything like that, other than one-on-one time with you. But if you can talk to 20 people and get them $1,000 worth of value, right, in an hour, even though it's not personalized to that person, it's $1,000 worth of value. You can still make $20,000. So in my mind, the way that you should look at it is, if you can make an hour-long course, for example, and sell it to 20 people, that gives general enough value for those 20 people, you're still going to make your $20,000 an hour work. So having a course versus having a community, or excuse me, and having a community will be massively helpful, because in your community, you're still putting your own time into it, and you're actually there with somebody whenever you're actually able to give personalized information or advice. So you should have them both. And the way that would normally look, sorry, I'm just waiting for him to text me that he's ready. The way that would normally look is that you have some sort of funnel. You probably don't remember. Whenever I first met you, I showed you my agency and my business funnels and all the different methods of how people can enter. All right. So you can use the course as a method of entrance into your entire funnel, into your, maybe eventually write, like a little how-to booklet that you can be able to sell as a lead magnet, or maybe your
like a video sales letter.
Yeah, or that, or your course could be, could direct somebody into joining your community, because maybe they want interaction with other people who've gone through that same course, ask them questions about their experiences over them, or work directly in hand with you in community live groups. Or you could set it up to where, again, at the end of it, they get, a special one-time offer of, doing like a 5-hour deep dive with you into their business. So that way they can get direct feedback based on what they learned from you, with you, directly against them, right? So a school community or a course could do the same thing, just like a YouTube channel, right? You see Jack all the time, and Jack has his YouTube channel as well that pushes tons of people into his school community. And really, that's just a lead magnet for his school community. But you have to understand where something is on the value ladder in order to appropriately have it point in the right direction, right? So
would you say a good rule of
fine.
thumb for the value ladder is the lowest barrier to entry, where you're giving them the right amount of value for that top of the funnel, for that value ladder, so that they can get to where they overcome their biggest blocker, their biggest pain point, and that leads them into an opportunity. Okay, once they have the knowledge, and whether it's a course or through like a video sales letter strategy, they then can come in to get support from a community on that knowledge that they just used to unlock that biggest pain point or blocker.
Yes, your value ladder is a filter. It's a filter, right? Only the ones who are going to put in the most amount of time, effort, investment should be making it up the ladder. Not everybody who, not everybody who reads your free blog, right, that has maybe 600 words, right, and it will want to sit down and have a one-on-one with you. They don't all need that, right? They all don't need that. And you don't even want that. Yeah, that's why, like, if you say, hey, an hour of my time is worth $20,000, not everybody's going to do that, and that's okay. But that's why you're not trying to make $20,000 from a school course or from a book. maybe you can try to make $20,000 from selling a bunch of books, right? $5 per book for that is you sell uh, uh,
Two hundred
a
thousand
thousand,
books
I
for a
don't know,
million dollars.
however many books that is. Right, you make a million,
Yeah.
you want a million, right? Yeah. But the best part about that is that not everybody's even needs to make it up to the top of that. So you're only looking for the ones who want to join the school community. They'll get the best value. They'll provide the best value. They'll have their time investment. So really, it's the latter. So whatever is the lowest barrier of entry and requires the least personal involvement with you directly to them with the bottom.
Mm. I can see a
Does that make sense?
masterclass brewing when you're like tuning in to the rungs in the ladder. It's like how to make sure when that foot hits that rung, if it stays or if it falls. That'd
I,
be a cool
I feel like
masterclass.
I feel like I have to pay you for that perfect intro to the segue, man. Like that, I was like, dude, charming. Thank you for that. No, it really is a thing, you know. Hey, welcome, Chelsea. How's it going today?
Hey,
Yeah,
sorry, I'm a hot mess. I just got done working out and literally
we all
got out of the shower and
every,
was like, "Oh, call now."
we all got done working out. I actually, Charming is not done working out, and Chandler probably got his workout last night or something like that. I don't know. It's all good. So that's actually really awesome that you're saying that. You know, one of the best things in I'm gonna actually let me. I'm building in this window. Let me pull this up. Okay, cool. Hi, hey everybody. So value, funnels, ladders. It's all big metaphors, and a lot of people are intimidated by these words. You know, I remember earlier today we said VSL. I said VSL, and oh goodness, and Chandler, you even said it when the acronyms start coming out, when the letters are like, oh, it does a thing, right? And one of the beautiful things is I do my best to try to translate things and cut through a lot of noise. So let's talk about that. Let's take the walk on the customer journey. Yesterday, I had to go on a little bit of a rant. I gotta admit, everybody, I was a little bit annoyed because it was a bother. It was something that I just gotten over, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's like a problem that everyone has. Not annoyed at the person, of course, but annoyed at the lack of simplicity that is taught at the beginning level. You know, I used to teach kindergartners, and I remember I used to give like second graders music paper and stuff like that, thinking like, why can't they read music? It's like you didn't even make the environment musical first. Like, how about that? You know, like, how
Yeah.
about let's make the environment musical in that way. So you know, can we say it without saying funnel? Can we say it without saying BSL? And I think what you were pointing to, Charming, was this beautiful concept of not everybody needs or wants or will go to all the way up the ladder, and that's okay because your job is to create the ladder that has all the steps to get to you. Right at the very top of the ladder, it sounds like you're like gatekeeping, but not really. It's just your time is so valuable if you know how to make simple that concept for many people. And sometimes that's enough for the self drivers to be like, oh, I can't believe you just said that. Sometimes it's one sentence said a different way from another voice in the right context because you read this thing and you're like, something clicks. So let's dial it down. The first thing that is most necessary is really finding out why you, right? Why me? And that was a hard thing. The first thing I did was I built something called Sigil Bloom, and it was essentially the best lesson in the community that we're in, Chandler, was the 1% skill lesson. It's like, okay, I had to visualize why my website would be different, why my offer would be different. What's the difference between me making a website versus do we lose someone? Versus I don't know anybody else, and I couldn't figure out the answer for months, maybe even a year, because I was by myself and no one really knew how to bring it up until our mentor talked to us about the 1% skill. And I visualized the 1% skill as the intersection between many different Venn diagrams, if you will. If anyone knows the seed of life, you can imagine the six circles intersecting, and in the middle there, they all have a common point. And I was visualizing this. I was like, okay, I'm a saxophonist. I was in graphic design. So somewhere in the middle, that is called the Vesica Pisces, that little. Okay, somewhere in there, I have some stories that saxophone and graphic design talk to each other. That's pretty unique. Maybe some other people have that. Actually, I knew a couple buddies in college that had that. So it's like, okay, let me dig deeper. Saxophone, graphic design, and programming. Oh, interesting. What's the story that connects those three? And there was one class at Berkeley. I was like, oh, I was doing graphic design, and I kept going and kept going, and it just helped to find something unique about different aspects of my life, things that were things I would do that no one would, things I would do anyway without anybody paying me. That's actually that's the thing. But then I realized that because I would do it anyway, what happens if I find that like one little sliver with all these 6 points that I would do this anyway, and it's actually it's also the most valuable thing I can do because no one has the intersection of these 6 things in my experiences that allows me to have this perspective of programming, graphic design, automation, jazz, harmony, right? Like all these things. So it just led me down a whole rabbit hole, and whole rabbit hole, and then I realized something really important about this. It's like, wow, everybody has this, and it became my first consulting offer. I was like, I wonder if everyone. Like, this is an easy shape to understand. I'm not trying to be spiritually woo woo about it. I just think these shapes are cool, to be honest. I like if it was like I was in graphic design, I think pretty things. But then I realized like I could visually show somebody their 1% skill. I could show them that each of their offers gets more unique as they find those intersections. So maybe it's just the intersection of 3 things. Maybe you want to keep something, maybe you're not going to incorporate programming into your offer. That's not the point. The point is you could always go back to this sigil and find where the intersections are where you're most unique. And that was the most beautiful thing that I can do because I started realizing that it is me when I stick to those intersection points. So I'll stop there. I hope that's like a clarity. What do you think, Chandler?
Yeah, Denison, like 2 or 3 things came to mind is when you said you're talking about your sigil that I walked through, it reminded me of the concept of Ikigai. And one of the first times that we met, you did the circles and the Venn diagram, which is almost 1-to-1 with Ikigai. And once you identify your 1% skill, and we actually never made this reference, that 1% skill is finding your copper mine or your gold mine. And then once you find your copper mine or your gold mine, then there's that okay, how do I actually get the raw material from it and process it? And so I like what when you're talking about when you identify your 1% skill and then you have the supports around that go to your 1% skill. It's like those rings, kind of like a molecule, like in biology class. You see like all the molecules connecting. The one in the center. The one in the center is your 1% skill. What's around it is the supporting elements. And so those would be like the value rings for your value package of your molecule of who you are. And then those just made this connection. Those rings become the rungs, and the one that is the most replicable, and the way that you know that it's the most replicable and scalable is it takes the least amount of your time.
Oh, yeah, it's but yeah, and that I do think that calculate or maybe even perceived amount of time. It might take a long time. Like sometimes those rabbit holes are hours, but you're like, oh, it's 3 a.m. Let me go to bed, right? But that too. It's
Claude, can you make that a
time.
1% skill, that 6 hour Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole
Yeah,
session?
for sure. Yeah, like the gif I sent earlier today. So someone was like, "What's your process?" I just sent the gif of like the bunny kicking somebody down a rabbit hole into like this spiraling whip. I'm like, that's kind of my process. And there's like a net somewhere that catches it, and then it looks like I had a lot of
Denison,
intention behind it.
that is the artist debacle in a nutshell.
Yeah, it
Is
really is.
because you can't and I was I made a post about this. Shout out to my post on school that I got two like for. Um, Stop making proposition. Stop walking into spaces that are conversational and trying to make them propositional, which means
Oh,
stop proposing your process, your business, and pitching because you're making yourself what's called fault in the scientific space, falsifiable. Stop making yourself falsifiable. Know that what you're saying has value. Stop trying to connect with people and then sell them right after. Like you have to pick. So that's a good, like for the rungs, you can't have at one and the same rung a propositional, hey, you either pay this or you don't. It's either you're going to go forward in the value later or you're not. And you're also trying to butter them up.
yeah, 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 yeah.
There has, you have to pick. I feel like there, and this is where Charming maybe would have more experience. Is like people don't like when the person that they're talking to flips.
Yeah, well, it's I gotta say this. How do I say this really?
Now we're cooking.
There's no way to say this nicely. You're creepy when you're not offering value. You're extracting. It feels like, and people feel like you're extracting. If you're not offering value, really, like, okay, you want to meet a girl, and like you're gonna go talk to her, like, all right, like if you're showing so much intent that you're like, will you like give her a ring
I
on?
never thought about it that way, dude. You're actually blowing my mind.
Like, will you just be like, "Oh, I got this diamond ring. We ready to marry right now?" It's like, "Oh, I just met you, yo. Like, did you even know my name?" Like people really don't know what courtship really is, and it's just like they're just trying to like go for it. It's like, and because you have the intent, people feel the intent, and therefore they're going to be standoffish, right? So now
Mm.
you now created a longer moat, a longer time to get back that rapport, which sometimes doesn't really happen again because they're like, "Oh, that person's going to sell me again." But what if you were
What's
just
the
like,
art?
what if you were so
What's the entrepreneur
positioned?
way? You think?
What's that?
What's the entrepreneur way? Like the balance between artistry and being an entrepreneur. Like what would you like for the value ladder?
Yeah. That's interesting. That's very interesting. The way an artist does this is the value you offer is very interesting because it's in this really intangible space, and I've seen it happen in a couple different ways. I've seen people purposely go to open mics, songwriters go to open mics. They know that they're not going to make money off the open mics, but they also know that they are there for the network. I've seen people the same
They
song.
go there for the ritual.
They go there for the ritual. They go there because that's the place where they are consistently. They become a local celebrity in their shout out to the Lizard Lounge. This is exactly what I'm thinking about. Lizard Lounge in Cambridge. Because it's a songwriter circle, and when you walk into that space, you know that everybody knows each other. So like you can't sell each other. They're selling their friend. They're like, oh, you should talk to so and so. He's a great player. You should, but that's what happens in a network, right? Because your value is the fact that you are contributing to the community by not trying to take, but by trying to consistently add. That is a value that people don't really understand. There's other people though that will go to these open mics with like their CDs and be like, I'm trying to sell these CDs, and they don't understand how many
Gas station artist. Yeah.
it's okay to be that. Like, but did you build the rapport? A lot of people think that they're buying. This is my biggest problem with artists. I'm oh gosh, incoming rant. Okay, I'll try.
From you?
No, I won't. So the problem with artists that I have is that a lot of people think because I spent money on this degree, because I'm good at what I do, because my grandma loves me, like whatever like is your egoic way of like approaching, because I therefore give, and it's like, yo, like do me a favor. You, if you were acting like a business, if you were wanting money, yes, we're in capitalist world, and artists love to be like, oh, it's so free stuff, until they need to get paid, and then they don't know how to translate that thing. It's we love to present ourselves as if we're just good and that we deserve to be paid, and that's not the thing. Did you contribute to the community that
Right.
understands and gives you value because you have that?
It's a
And,
community
and,
currency.
and
That's the
how
art.
and
That's the
how do you do
artpreneur
so?
currency.
and how do you do so without feeling like you're extracting all the time? And that's a harder thing because we're working in the intangible. So the best thing about it is that. Oh, and I got you, Charming. Come in here and drop in any time. But I'll end on this one.
You
The
gotta head out, Charming.
oh, you
Yeah,
people,
I've got to bounce. If my call finishes soon enough, how long are you guys going to be on? 30 minutes?
we'll be here for at least an hour, like at least an hour.
Okay.
All right,
So my call finishes up early. I'll get back here.
all right, sounds good.
But I love what I hear. I got a lot to add to it, but I want to just wait and listen.
Can't wait to hear it, brother.
Don't expect
All
anything
right,
less.
I'll be back.
Peace
All
out.
right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So
I want to hear Chelsea's thoughts. I want because
but let me land this because this is
yeah, land the
and,
plane.
and,
Sorry,
and
sorry.
I need this to be very understood. There's value to be given, and yes, we don't want to give so much that we feel like we're not getting what we want in return. But if you present as extractive before you offer value, there's a problem there. If no one's going to, you don't deserve the money from other people. That's the thing. It's like you don't deserve it just because you're good, because you were in a practice room for that long. You deserve it because you've offered value so much that you're giving from abundance. And when you give from abundance, that is what's felt when you walk into the room, and that's
It's
what
felt.
we're buying for.
Felt. Yeah. Because people, it's a feeling. The people
People are
come from
buying
experience
the
in
way
a
you make them
community. Yeah.
feel. People are buying
Yeah.
the way you make them feel because you're in
And you
the
can't fake that.
and
There's no amount of money on earth that can be that.
exactly. Where are you
So
at?
Chelsea,
Sorry, I'm trying to absorb all of that. I think that you're absolutely right in the fact that I, in today's society, a lot of people are the give and take value proposition is difficult because I'm around a lot of people that feel entitled to your time, your money, and things like that, if that makes sense. And sometimes it's not financially that they feel entitled, but they feel entitled to your time and your effort that you would put into like doing something for them because you care and things like that. And so eventually, if because I'm one of those that would give my time, money, whatever, and our family is. And so we often get taken advantage of in many ways, especially with family members and otherwise and friends. And so I'm in a
wow.
situation where like I have to say like, okay, I will give this to you. I want to do this for you. But at some point, if it's all take, it becomes difficult to continue that relationship, if that makes sense.
Of course.
Chelsea,
But
what you just said is so important. And what comes to mind is what, like the space. Like if your home has like a culture of that, then to go outside of that culture, you almost have to from the beginning say, "Hey, here's the line," and you have to verbalize it. And so,
yeah,
yeah,
And even before you verbalize it, you have to learn to verbalize it.
right.
which is the challenging thing. I mean, not to go personal or anything, but this week has been very, very challenging. My sister-in-law with autistic kid, her son, her son with autism, threw a knife over the neighbor's fence, somehow got into the log. Like he's very smart and crafty. He unlocked it, threw it over. And so CPS got called and her husband's on the regs and she starts her new nurse practitioner job next week. And she's like, hey, can y'all come up? And I'm like, my husband's running a business. Like I have to be in Detroit for in services. And I've planned this out 6 weeks in advance. I have 5 nurses I have to orient, and then I have to touch base with the clinical manager, medical center, and all this stuff. So I have a week booked out, but they just kind of expected us to drop everything and just show up because that's what we normally would do. But at some point, you have to be like, hey, you have kids, you have responsibilities, you'll have to make difficult decisions. And part of that is like you have a new job, you have a family emergency. Either your husband comes home from the rigs because y'all don't really need that money, or, you call your new job and understand that other jobs will be there in the future. If they don't want you because you're having a family emergency, then that's not the place that you should be. Like in my mind, I'm like, you have kids, you have three kids, you have one with special needs, and that kid is going to probably have other things come up in the future. And if you go work for a company knowing that they might not be responsive to that and automatically want to like can you from the beginning, then that's not the place that you need to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
100%.
so you have to make that decision. So this week has been pretty challenging because you feel like I feel guilty not just dropping everything and like wanting to be there because I want to be there for them. But I can't. I have obligations. I have a family to take care of.
That's a beautiful thing, and I know the feeling of of the feeling of oblig. I'm the youngest in the family.
Me too.
Oh,
Obligation is a thing, and like it's a different type of thing of the
I'm
youngest.
also the youngest
We'll
too.
talk about that offline, Chelsea, because that's a whole wrap. But it's interesting when because we also have a thing about sovereignty, right? And I had to
Mhm.
that's why I said you have to learn how to find those words because I remember when I found the words, it was like an unlock. This is actually the book
Mm,
called it was called the NLP Black Book. It was 100 pages of life changing word salad that actually reprogrammed my brain while teaching me how to do that for myself and with my surroundings, using my words in a way that protected me, protected my
Yeah.
energy in a way. Because the power in the no is in your no is and yes, that's a double entendre, is amazing when you have that, when you know it. Sometimes sometimes your no is allowing people to go through the lesson that they need to go through, and that's so hard to be the person that's close to them and know that you're like if you don't step in, they have to go through this hardship, but that
That's
hardship on the other side
exactly how I
is the
feel right
lesson.
now.
And it's like okay,
Exactly that.
I was talking about this earlier. It's let's call it fatherly love, Chelsea. Uh, your son is learning how to not yours but one son, right? His is on a bike, takes off the training wheels, and you're on, go for it, right? The fatherly
Mhm.
love says, right? He falls and his father says, get up.
Yep.
with with his ice
If
water in the hand,
dust
like
it off,
50 feet
keep
behind,
going.
like he's like, get up, right? Because I can't. Yes, you can. Get up.
Hmm.
You know why? Because if I allow you to think that this is always going to happen, this is now our normal, and I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
untrain this, or I'm gonna have to always be this because now and
a double obligation
yeah, it's like your
that
actual
can't be upheld.
obligation as a parent is to teach the lesson in the moment. Sometimes it is I'll be there for you. Sometimes the lesson is I'll be
Yeah.
there for you, right? Sometimes the lesson is you have to figure it out yourself. And that is hard. I used to be a teacher for younger kids. Oh my goodness, like oh the crying and the tears and that was so hard. But I knew that yeah you
Mm.
had a piece of candy in the background and be like, hey, good job for getting up because that's what you do. Like performance anxiety is the same thing. Showing up is just one of those things, right? But it's one of those things, and so I can understand that, and it's one of those hard things, and even the person might hate you for it, or it sounds like they're coming at you, but that's not the point. Is like I need you. I think I need you to fall for this because here's the irony of it: the lesson that you went through that allows you to understand why it's necessary for them to go through it is because you had to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's as simple
I
as
mean,
that. And there's
our
no way.
family, like my family has been through it, you know, running, we had a moving company in Texas and we grew it to like $1 million within the first year. And then within year two, COVID hit, shut down. Like we went through it and you fall, you dust yourself off and you like cry a little bit and you get back on, right?
Mhm.
But I think that there are some circumstances where people haven't had to have that failure because they've always called in that favor to somebody, or they have that, lifeline there. And I'm like, my husband and I don't. We live 1,200 miles away from my parents, which is my lifeline. And then, the closest in-laws that we have is 4 hours away, and they're not going to be there for us, even if we wanted them. So, in those circumstances, you have to learn how to be resilient within yourself, with the people that you have established as a community. They might not be your family, but it's your community. It's the people that you trust. It's the people that you choose to have in your life.
Yeah.
And in this circumstance, like, I feel very conflicted because my like clinical loving heart wants to be there and, help and support them. But on the other side, I'm like, it is one of those circumstances where you have to make a tough decision. Like, push come to shove, like, you have to make a decision, and it can't be about you. Like, it has to be about your family. And if
Yeah.
you can't make this decision now, what are you going to do next time? What are you going to do the time after that?
Mhm.
And what if we're not there to bail you out? So you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I love that. No, and that's the lesson in sovereignty. It's so it there it's a beautiful thing how these two lessons are mirrors of each other. And so I'll to put a bow on that one. And what's going on, Trey? How's it going? We got to talk about that link you sent me, brother. But by the way, I'm gonna put asterisks on that. But to wrap that one up, and I love this lesson. It's the sovereignty. It's like it's going through the lesson. You can teach someone, you can show them the manual, you can give them a blueprint, you can do all those things, but the failure and the data that you get from that is irreplaceable. Like, it's everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face, Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, right. So there's that. What's going on, Trey? What's up with you in the world of Trey? Are you there?
Mine has I know he's in like school, so maybe he's like just
Oh,
tuning in.
yeah, you could be tuning in.
Um,
It's all good. So check it out. So Charming had a beautiful intro there. Chelsea, that's a beautiful lesson there, and I'm glad that you have a real life lesson. It's going to keep happening. Actually, I'll leave you with this. In my life, it kept happening until I found out where to hold that boundary, and how to balance the I love you with the do it yourself.
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
ties and it
And
does, and
that is more loving, to be honest, because I think coddling is actually protection from life, not protection from danger, not for, like, it's like literally protection from your highest self. And it's like, do you know who you can become when you actually give yourself the opportunity to actually expand, break out of your lobster shell, become bigger, like, sincerely, like, do that. So and obviously everything in the nuance of the world, in the life, and everything is relevant. What were you gonna say, Chandler?
yeah, Dennis, and what we're pointing to between the three of us, with Trey being a fly on the wall, is that there is a fundamental aspect of what makes family family, what makes community community, and what makes a relationship a relationship, which is, I would say, a few elements that we pointed to is true authenticity and honesty about your authenticity. I think there's like, not to go into um, any scriptures or anything, but there's a logion that says that what you have within you, uh, that way you don't bring out of you will destroy you, and that what you, I'm forgetting, I don't know why. It's a logion, it's 112, but it's saying bring out what's inside of you, and if you don't, it might destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think about that a lot when it comes to this new economy that we're in. The languages that we all seem to be participating in, which is a language of economy. Like for men, it's can you provide? You talk about that all the time, Denison.
Yeah.
And so, like, the fatherly love, or that guidance, which is structure, if we boil it down to what it is, that structure is allowing us to move forward step by step towards freedom. And anything other than that is fun and it can help, you know. I can be there for you, but me being there for you every step of the way isn't life. And so it's that's the what I love about school. That's what I love about these
Yeah.
Zoom calls is we're able to give
Ironically,
structure to this very abstract concept.
yeah, ironically, it makes it so that both people don't live their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the analogy that I spoke to in the last call. It's like the dog that sits inside the trough, the cattle trough. Like he's not eating the food and he's not letting the cattle eat.
Right. You're like, well, you know, yeah, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, perfect. So Chelsea,
Every time.
Chelsea, I would
Hey,
love to
Charming.
see your what's going on, Charming. Where we can all do this. So check it out. If everyone, I don't know if anyone ever has ever done this, and I would really love to just go through this with you. It's Sigil Bloom dot blues.
I did this.
Oh, great, great guy. I should check yours out. Awesome. So Trey and Charming and Chandler, you know about Sigil Bloom. How does this how does this connect to the 1% skill? And actually, it's a
Should I
connection.
run through it and share my? Are you already sharing?
Oh, please do actually go for it, man. You can share your screen and go for it. But the idea is, how does this connect to your 1% skill? The 1% skill is a thing that you do best that is actually only you, right? So there is an energy that people are finding that is yours. They go to you for a reason, Chelsea. They go to you. Check out the skill constellation part. Uh,
Let's go back.
yeah, the one on the right. So how does it connect to the 1% skill? Your 1% skill is the thing that you actually should be doing. And if someone is actually attuned to your signal, the thing that you can do only, and if actually it is that you are the only person in their life that really can do that thing, um, then actually that is a sign that you are actually the one that's needed. If it's anywhere outside of that, then that's actually a sign that maybe they're trying to offboard their next learning to you because they know that you're strong enough to hold it. It doesn't mean you can or should. It means you can. It doesn't mean you should. So why I did the Sigil Bloom is because it's a way to visualize it and to get the things that are in your head into a structure that you could visualize. And just let me know, Chelsea, how did you feel about going through the sigil and what did you experience when you were going through it?
So I did the attunement one. I didn't go on the right side. I actually did it for my husband and myself. So I am considered a mirror attunement,
Okay.
and then my husband's a weaver. I thought he was a seer because I answered his questions for him just to see what it was like, and I missed one of them. So he came back and we went through his questions together, and he was a weaver.
Okay.
So that was kind of interesting to see that
It's funny.
and what that looks like.
I have to admit, the names I actually took away the names and I offer this new idea where I'm gonna let people name themselves. I understand the names to a degree, but I was like, I don't like these labels. It's kind of like like you should be able to make your own little archetype of it. So what did Weaver mean to you?
It actually for him, like it hit everything that he is. And how he's like whenever I look at the actual different five pillars, it looks like he is very balanced in his approach of everything, which was absolutely true of how he is. And he really can see like he can see different patterns and how those patterns play out and like look at it from different perspectives, kind of put himself in somebody else's shoes, look from it from the outside. And that's what makes him like my other half. Like we balance each other. We're complete opposites, but we balance each other in a good way. So whereas mine is more like finding that resonance, guiding people, helping them like figure out where they're going, where I'm like, okay, so I don't know where I'm going, but I can help other people navigate where they're going. Okay, that's cool.
Sure, 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 sure. The best mirrors are clear. You know, it's that's a really simple sentence, but imagine if you tossed a bunch of water in the mirror.
Yeah.
It means your mirror is clear. Like some people are mirrors and not clear. So it's good to see that, you know. That's really cool. That's cool. So that's it's a beautiful thing. So Paige, this is and sure, let's see. I'll drop it in the chat one more time. Sigil Bloom is it's actually this is a beautiful story. So when I developed Sigil Bloom, I was I was forcing myself to see myself is to see the shape and to and to connect all the ideas. You know, it's like what is the thing that actually uniquely puts me apart, and how do I want to show this into the world, right? And I decided that it was actually helpful for a lot of people because as at least in the creative world, as artists, we have so many different things that we can monetize. It doesn't mean that we have a business though. A business is one problem, you know, done really well, solved in a way that's uniquely you so that you don't get commoditized, right? The idea under this, if you want to be very practical, is everything is leading towards personal branding. So if you don't know who you are and why you're unique, then what's the difference between your website and that, your consulting and this, your coaching and like whatever it might be, your song and this? Everyone could write a cover, right? Like, you know, or sing a cover, arrange a tune. What's the thing that's your signature, right? You could say that Quincy Jones had a brand in his way, right? Because he had this signature sort of thing, right? There's a bunch of arrangers that had a signature sound. There's a bunch of songwriters that have a signature way of weaving words. So that's this is what this whole exercise is about. You know, having a little bit of clarity, and it's not it's not like, oh, this is what you are, this is your prediction, let's manifest everything. I do disdain the word manifest. This is for the entire internet. It comes from the words manus, which means hand, and fest from facere. That means to make by hand. Manufacture. It's what it is. It's not, I'm thinking, and then I say it over and over again, and then it's going to happen. It literally means take your hands and do things. So that's super important because we want to act like it's passive, right? But you have to take your hands with your beautiful fingerprint that you have, right? And with the way that you touch a thing, the way you blow the saxophone, the face shape that you have, because that's your resonance. That's your signature sound. It's the thing under the thing. And if you honor that and know that, your business as a creative is it just opens up, because if you know that, then you're like, oh, I do this in everything. I do this in my consulting. I do this in my sax playing. I do this in my performance. So I'm going to leave it there. Charming, you're back. Welcome back, my brother. What were you holding on to this whole time? I want to hear it.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a quick, easy call. To finish up. I appreciate what you spoke about 1% skill. One of my core teachings is on that idea, that concept. It's called specific knowledge. Something that I learned from Naval Ravikant on identifying the things that generally don't connect. You said something that you're passionate about, something that has always been something that you love, something that you were not able to be taught, right? That you absolutely love. You finding the intersection of those different traits or skills of your experiences, and you find in like a Venn diagram, just like you said, that one little specific point, and it's your specific knowledge. I actually teach it. You teach in a much more spiritual fashion form, which is great. And I teach it in a very how to achieve total financial independence, because that's actually the entry point of finding what is specifically special to you, your skills and your expertise. Especially when we start talking about how to be able to apply that within business, and even just like a regular career. You know, if you got some sort of specific knowledge about you that you're able to 100% realize and portray, like your boss or your coworkers, your managers, that's something that they rely on only for you, and it makes you completely valuable and really indispensable to even like your your boss, your owners, the CEOs or such. And it's one way to be able to potentially build a lot more leverage within your career path. And that's just on, like I said, W-2 working, let alone when it comes to business and your sort of value proposition. It's a way to be able to identify that. So I resonate a lot with what you were saying in that concept. On the concept or the question that Chandler had around how do you really try not to come off the wrong way, but trying to make sure that you remain a professional in your value proposition. Chandler, this is something I taught you a while ago. Is when you've got value, no matter what, you got value. Period. And you need to place yourself strategically around the markets that you want to be able to provide that value to people. And I think it's very important that we don't push our value off on people that either we don't know if they need our value, because how can you really know without going through discovery and asking questions and learning about them. And this is something that you guys were talking about, and actually building connections with people. But it's very important to, like you said, never switch up. You cannot come in with this into new relationships with people or even networking with the purpose of one thing but display something completely different. When you're a professional of value in any sort of way, shape, or form, you provide that value regardless of whatever the case is, regardless of how new you are to someone or not. Whenever the need arises, and it's very important that people know that that's the value that you provide. It doesn't make sense to me ever when I see a lot of salespeople who they'll go to a networking event, grab a bunch of names and numbers, talk to them for a year, and never introduce anything about what they do or how they help out people, ever.
Right.
Because you provide value to people, whether it's to that person or not.
Right.
They can be able to be the shepherd for helping you provide that value to others. And this is why it's so very important to have goals and principles, because that's what helps illuminate the different values that you've got. So that way, people always see those values and they see the goals, they see what you're working towards.
Can I ask you an interesting question that this came to mind? What do you think comes first? It's a chicken and the egg question, okay? Do goals create the principles, or do principles create the goals?
Yes.
Neither.
Okay, Chandler. All right, fine, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Neither. Now, your goals are not independent of your values or your principles at all, but your goals need to be within alignment of your values and your principles. They have to be. You need to have your values and your principles, or your values 100% realized. Your principles are things that you could very easily determine are your non-negotiables, and that's completely fine. But one doesn't build the other at all. Like, I have a value of a family empowerment. I don't have a single goal that specifically builds family empowerment. My goals maybe indirectly help with family empowerment, but they're not specifically revolved around that. However, my goals have to make sure that I don't go outside of my principles in order to achieve those goals, and that the values that I believe in are enhanced because of people's interaction with me. But oftentimes, like, your goals might not be a projection of the values that you have. You just might have your own different goals. As long as through people's interactions with you, their values or your values are in your life, that's all that matters. You do need to have them all, again, like I said, 100% realized in order to be within a total alignment of yourself. But I think a lot of people,
your interactions is your plan. Like, the interactions that you have with people is the structure and the plan in action.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I mean, if somebody's working with me, even just on their own personal business growth, right? Let's say I've got a goal to help 1,000 business owners in 5 years, right? And I can have a stronger goal, all that kind of good stuff, right? But let's say that that's the core of my goal. But one of my values is family empowerment, right? If I'm talking to a business owner and they're completely sacrificing their family, the thing that matters most to them, then I'm coaching them through their interactions with me. I want their family relationships and values to become stronger. And that's the hope that they have while interacting with me. Now, that doesn't have to do particularly with my goal. I still have this other goal, but that's one of the things I want to be empowered with them. If creative freedom is one of my values, then I want people's creative freedom or their freedom of expression to be enhanced while working with me, even though maybe my goals might not be anything to do have anything to do with creative expression.
Mhm.
But they're different. They're not one comes before the other, but definitely need to be 100% realized. And then you need to find until you found what makes the most sense. Oh,
Yeah, I, I
that's
love,
the,
I love that. I realized a lot of the goals that I had were shaped by my principles that I couldn't define in words. If I were to force myself to answer the question, I think I'm going to agree with my homegirl Paige in the chat. The principles do come first. Sometimes they're not as clear, but they through your achieving your goals, maybe they do become clear. One of the things that I didn't
Yeah, not articulated yet.
yeah, yeah. Like, one of the things I didn't realize my business really is like because it's just my personality. Chandler, you might be able to vouch for this. I attack limiting beliefs. If I hear it, if I
If you don't
hear
even
it,
know the person, you're like, yeah, that's don't.
oh
I'm
my
not
God,
gonna.
it's sometimes if I wonder if it's like if for like 2 seconds people hate me, but then love me right after on the third and fourth second where they're like, oh, that was like because
Maybe he
they're like,
actually
wait a minute,
cares about me.
how did you just cut through the noise? It's like, I don't have time for the I don't have time for the energy. I spent a long time being the youngest and being told to shut up. I spent a long time being right, but then being told like to do the thing that my heart was not in line with, and then failing, and then still having to reap the repercussions. And all of it was because of limiting beliefs. Either I didn't believe in
Put
myself.
it, yeah, y'all put in chat if you're the youngest, oldest, or
Yeah,
like a middle
yeah.
child.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Yeah.
Youngest put a one, uh, middle child put a two, and then oldest put a three.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Yeah, I'm definitely the
three.
youngest, and it was just I don't
Chelsea's
think it's the
youngest.
youngest thing. I just think that like and of course there were my problems with ageism and like I just had and there's the whole Leo thing if you want to go down that road too. Like yeah, just don't tell me what to do because there's something about being heart led. And that's the principles thing. Like the principles, even if they don't have words around them, because they really don't. There's no words for the principles that you have. Like there might be a Sanskrit word that comes close, but again, like it's the intangible that we're working with. So we are using our heart energy to try to create businesses that offer value to people from the intangible to the tangible, while holding the space for it, while also not having these beliefs come after our talents and make them smaller, because those limiting beliefs actually will then restrict you from offering value to people, and it just becomes either recursive downward or recursive upward. Like so I just can't allow, you know, if and that's how I become a coach, right? Like I'm gonna snap you out of it. It's like I'm sorry, I don't accept it. You can accept that for yourself. I don't accept it for you. And my students actually in high school, they were like, what? They're like, Mr. Blackett, I can't do it. And I would say this to them. I'm like, would you like me to lower my standards for you? Are you saying I should expect less from you? And then they're like he's like, oh, would you like me to not believe in you? I could stop right now. And they'd be like,
Well, nobody would want to live in a reality where the bar is constantly lowered to your deficiencies.
It would actually stunt their growth.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. What's going on, Trey? But yeah, it's funny because like
Yeah.
I just love the cutting through it because and if you know me for more than 2 seconds, you might catch me doing that because it's just it's just like snap out of it. I need you to be your artist self. Snap out of it. I need your heart, not your mind. You know?
That's a question that's coming to me, Dennison, is what is that muscle in the business space? Like as an entrepreneur, if we're going to use that term,
Yeah.
like what is a way for an artist without going You know, because going down the rabbit hole as an artist, which is kind of a gauntlet in the artist space, is going down the rabbit hole, having your experiences with the muse, not knowing whether you're going to be able to pay your bills, not having the support structure maybe back at home. What is the muscle that entrepreneurs can use as they're in the thick of it and the pain of it, going through the heat of it, to get them through to the other side?
I have my answer. It's one word. Are you ready?
No, I don't actually know what you're going to say.
Defiant.
Just one word? Defiant. What about delusional?
Nah, you need to be defiant first.
Defiant first. So that would be the principle, like to close the loop on the principles, like being willing to break the rules is what that means, right?
Yeah, like oh my goodness. Oh, good. You want oh goodness. Another rant coming. Sorry. So I was talking I was talking online. Someone said to me, and you're talking to a jazz musician who
You guys,
is disdain for like European.
See you, Charmaine. You're heading out.
So he says
yep, gotta go. Have a good day, guys.
he's
Good to meet
Peace
you
out.
guys.
likewise. He says in my chat, he says, "Oh, you got to learn the rules to then break them." I was like, "You could just fucking break the rules." How about you don't know the rules and you just make your own?
Can I play devil's
If you
advocate
happen
for
to
that?
break the rules, then you just skip the extra step. How about what
Or would it be an
we're talking
angel
about? Like
advocate?
I went on a whole rant because I'm like what kind of like how could you tell me that there's rules that you then have to learn to why well that's you're literally just saying okay it's the same thing when they said you have to learn clarinet to play saxophone. It's like, or I could just play saxophone. Like you have to play piano before you, or I could just play.
You have to go through this hazing ritual before you're allowed to speak
It's just
and
so.
be authentic.
But you see, like that's the limiting belief thing. Like it's a if I don't call it a limiting belief, let me call it a borrowed perception, because it's a better word too, because it's a borrowed perception. Sometimes it's like because someone's older, because someone has more money, because the thing that you think is more valuable than you, which is another belief that they are instilling in you, because they're older, because whatever the thing is, that will allow you to believe that you have to listen to them because they have authority over you. Therefore, you have now this belief that you never even adopted from your experience, that you might be taking from someone else's trauma that doesn't really, that means that they didn't really actually they didn't turn it into a lesson, they turned it into a safety mechanism to control. And now you're making art like that way. Now you're running your business that way. Now you're running your whole life like that. Now you're not giving yourself permission because you didn't go through these rules that you didn't break yet, because for some reason there's no one tells you how to break the rules, but they tell you that there's rules and then tell you have to break the rules. But they like what? Like it's just so illogical, and it sounds like so beautiful because it's safe, and defiant is not safe.
Dude, at what point did Obi-Wan Kenobi as a young man come up to you in the desert? Like,
You know what it was? It was the amount of times that I took really good sounding advice and believed the person because they had authority of some sort that I respected and that they deserve because they got it. Teacher, adults, whatever it might be. And because you're the youngest, you see a lot of it, right? And that it compounds in a way, whatever. It's just what it is. And the amount of times I've seen that actually fail me, and the amount of times I've seen my intuition really beat my results, I was like, well, let's just go straight to breaking the rules. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it was. Like, and it's not breaking the rules. It's like understanding how
that's an
structures
artist.
work and how to work within them. That's where the sigil comes in, where it's like this is a
Right.
structure.
Be like water,
framework.
like Bruce Lee says.
Yeah, like jazz harmony. These are your chords, but guess what? There's infinite melodies in there's 12 notes. Isn't that beautiful? Like that's the kind of thinking we have to have, holding two truths, right? Knowing that the structure is the safe thing that you might want to have, but acknowledging that there's other ways to have the same kind of stability.
They're saying rigidity is, and just doing what you're told is not a good way to be a business owner or an artist. What about going to school and like paying money? What about joining another, literally a school community, SKOOL?
Mhm.
Like, where's the line? How do I know that I earn my chops? How do I know if I need to do another gauntlet?
Oh. Well, actually, no. I do think the when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I do think that's true
Yeah.
because your
No, yeah.
perception is there. And you'll feel it, and you know.
This is fun, man.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. Wait, so
Hey,
okay, first of all,
Trey,
yeah,
I'm curious. So I want to hear some. There's other people on the call.
yeah.
Oscar joined.
First of all,
Paige
let me
joined.
do a reintroduction. So we had some people: Trey, Oscar, Paige. What's going on? All of you are friends of some sort. We should all know each other. Excellent in all of our rights. Chandler is an amazing agentic. This is where Chandler is in my screen now. Chandler's an amazing agentic AI guru. Oscar is a fantastic piano business person. We talk for hours and hours on plotting and taking over the world. Paige is an amazing singer, songwriter, producer, engineer, everything. Trey, I'm not going to put you in the box that I don't know. I just met you a couple days ago, but I just know you're a beautiful mind. Talk to us, brother. What's up?
Yeah, I build meta systems, and I just love to just network and connect with people.
Nice.
And he's not talking Facebook either.
That's what.
It's not Facebook. It's not Facebook at all. Yeah, so we were talking about Oscar, so you can catch up. This is a cool thing I built a little bit ago. We're talking about 1% skills, and actually, if you'll allow me to get a little ground the conversation a little bit, gentlemen, check this out. Because Paige, Oscar, I made this one for us to talk about and discuss, and I'll show you the beautiful thing that happened today that was proven. So Oscar, you'd be proud of me, my brother. I thought I was gonna have to wait till the weekend to tell you. So I talked to you about the funnel that I made for the new city I'm living in and the new offers, right? So I got my SEO tight and everything just works, from being able to find me on Google to booking a call. So literally, I took a nap yesterday, and I woke up to a calendar ping in my email because someone found me on Google cold from a Google search. They happened to be in Texas and booked a call. And then I was on a call with them this morning, and we're going to be talking about a future engagement. And I was like, I
Nice.
literally, so I got a lead while sleeping, like actually sleeping. Like it's not a phrase, right? So I took that and made it a skill, and I wanted to walk through that with y'all. Let me pull it up. But go ahead, Chandler, if you have an idea, or Trey, if you want to talk about anything cool that you're working on while I get this going.
Yeah. So Oscar, where are you coming from?
How are you doing? Sorry for joining late. I was actually just in a job interview.
Oh
Based in
wow, how did that
Boston as
go,
well.
man?
It went great. They actually like sent me a contract. It was like the final interview. It was like
Nice,
either
Awesome.
I
Congratulations,
was
man.
getting it or not.
nice. That's a good move, brother. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Also, congrats on what's going on here. Like I'm curious to see. I opened the link, but I'll wait for you like to like show it.
Yeah. So I'll break it down and stop me anytime. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going because like we talked about a lot about the big picture stuff and that was beautiful, but this is the practical thing. So essential the essential of it, right? Since it's what beautiful timing. The funnel worked. It got proven from cold. Absolutely didn't know me, Google search to really good SEO, bringing them to my website, a website that proved that I know what I'm doing, and a system that allowed them to act really quickly. Wait, let me pop out for a second. One of the most important things that everyone should know, it seems crazy, but when someone is interested in your offer and they click on your link or they give you a call, 5 minutes is like the best time to respond to them in some way. After 5 minutes, the likelihood of you closing the deal goes down 400%, which is
Wow.
right. So if 20 people called you and all of them, I'm sorry, if 20 people called you, if you responded after 5 minutes, you're gonna maximum get four. But if you responded within that chunk, you're gonna get like closer to 10, 15. It's just exponential. So what do we do as artists when I don't know, we're dealing with people who are 9 to 5, right? We're jamming on the weekend bandstand, they're actually available on the weekends. Sunday is actually some of the best times to call people for this stuff, but like we're sleeping because we just partied up on tables at a wedding last night or whatever, right? So this system that I developed was, at least for in the world of wedding musicians, right? But it doesn't matter whatever your performance offer is, whatever that is. If you have a system that eliminates that honors the statistic that says we need to respond quickly, and a system that gets them from I understand who you are before you even talk to me, because people are researching you, right? They're doing this on your Instagram before they talk to you, right? If you have a system that allows that to happen and gets them on a lead, you can actually close a deal within a day from them even not even knowing you exist. Right. That's the premise of this presentation here. So I'll just burn through it. I'm going to talk through it because I told Chandler got this beautiful title that we were jamming on for a while. Let me know if that you can see that.
Dude, it's me cooked,
Yeah.
bro.
All right, let's cook. So they found me. I asked them, I'm like, how did you find me? She said, I found you on a Google search. I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I just got Googled. For context, I had recently upgraded my SEO on Google Console. It's all free. You do have to buy a website. You do have to connect it. There's some technical things to do. You find that in my school community because it's a process. But the concept is it's free. It just takes time and understanding how to do what, right? So that means that part of the funnel works. It means that she typed in Texas saxophone wedding, I popped up. Or maybe I was her second call. Who knows? But I was there. So there's three things that had to work in sequence. First, of course, the cold means that a stranger found you. That's the Google search. And then they call. I made this really easy. Essentially, my rule is 3 clicks. If that person could find me on a Google call, Google link, boop, they're on my website. Boop, they clicked on the book a call calendar, and boop, they just hit a date and hit send. Okay, that's 4 clicks, right? But that was 3 clicks in my system, and 1 click that was proving that I'm visible. So that's great. Now you give them a quote because you know your prices. And here's one of the biggest things. We didn't actually talk price. I'm going to pop out. We didn't talk price. What did I talk about? I talked about the problems of a wedding, right? What are people worried about in weddings? They're worried about if you're going to sound good. Yeah, they know you sound good. They already researched you. They're worried about if you're close by, if you're available. Do you have the date available? The calendar's on the page, and they that's kind of part of the whole process. And they're worried about if you get it. That's the one that's elusive, right? Do you get it?
Yeah.
Like, do I get? So, they drop in the fact that it's like, oh, I like this music, I like this. I'm like, oh, cool. And we just had a really good conversation because I'm asking about one of my favorite questions in this is like, so in your mind's eye, what do you imagine is going on when the saxophone hits the beat, right? And so they just start just imagining, and now you're literally like music wedding planner type, right? Because you're not talking about, oh, this is how much it costs, this is how many hours. Like, no. Are you solving the problem of easing the bride's stress level when she's thinking about the music? Like that's a really elusive problem, that is hard to do. Like I said, we're dealing with intangibles, so I'm doing my best to put it into that's the problem thing. Okay, here we go. Let me pop right back out. Cool. So Act 1, the cold call, right? So the first website I had was so bad. I made it in Lovable.com, and the problem with Lovable.com is that it doesn't index your pages. So essentially, the new AI era, we need to make sure that AI agents can find our page. AI reads in a certain way, and websites need to be formatted in a certain way that AI can read it like that. They also need to be reverse engineered so that think about it this way. What is the bride going to type in when they look for me? Right? Like, what are they going to say?
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saxophone.
Yeah. And what's even more beautiful about that? Oh my goodness, Gemini is Google's AI. So why wouldn't I talk to Google about how people are asking how to find me?
That's a good point. It's a good point. Use Gemini for SEO.
Hmm. Yeah, because who knows better than Google, right, about AI in general? Like Google's a silent little is the 3,000 pound gorilla, right? So the issue is that you're going to build an app, and what I like about Lovable is that you can really get the design of your page. I designed Sigil Bloom in Lovable. You can see this little heart there. So anyway, if like I said, if I start to talking a little too technical, just stop me anytime. I can't see anybody in the screen at this in this share. So yeah, I was losing literally everybody that was looking for me. If I was in Boston, if I was in Austin, if I was anywhere, no one was going to say wedding saxophone Denison and find me. They would find old let's see, SoundCloud links. They would find articles in Berklee College of Music, and I was like, oh my goodness, my SEO is ruined. So the combination of this website hosting called Vercel and Lovable, where I staged my design, and actually pulling it from Lovable and telling my agents to now push it to the web in a way that agents can read it, find the SEO that actually is relevant for me to be found, allowed for them to go from cold to finding me, which is, I would say, almost 70 to 80% of the battle. Would you agree, Chandler? What do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
I would say like finding just like the ability for people to Google and find you is like 70% of the battle.
Yeah, it's 100. Yeah, I would discoverability is everything. I would even go hyperbolic on that. It's like 200%. Like just overemphasize exposure, overemphasize your ability to be seen by other human beings, and you can't go wrong with that.
Right. And yeah, so and the other thing for Sneaky, I believe design is so important when it comes to our brands and in the music world. I think people need to feel what it feels like to be around you. Again, before they talk to you, because they Googled you and maybe there's five wedding pianists that sing in your city, but like what differentiates you and what makes you stand out, that's your pictures, that's your style, that's your whatever, the way you talk, like all these things are important, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So I was optimized for a market I wasn't working. I was going from Boston to the Caribbean, and it was, I was testing out different things, and I was looking for a way to show that I wanted to be in the Virgin Islands and show that I was from Boston. It just wasn't focused. There's a way to do this, but I would suggest finding one city, basically one city, one landing page, one avatar. If you don't know the avatar, it's not the airbender. It's the person that you're actually talking to, the decision maker, the mother of the bride. Needs to love it if they're the person that's wedding planning, the wedding planner who knows that your website is cool enough to send to a bride without like having to say, well, look, any excuses, right? All those kinds of things. So you want to optimize your website for the journey of the decision maker, not for like what your coolest, thing is, right? Like, and you do both, but this is more important. Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. My Ghosts, the Bandcamp page, Reverb Nation. I don't know. I mean, Reverb Nation never converted anything for me in my life, except for spam that was irrelevant to my purpose. They were trying to sell me hip hop like deals or whatever, 360 deals to take advantage of young artists.
I wanted to ask you, like,
Yeah.
right now you're focusing on creating a SEO that's curated to find you only in Texas or like the whole US? Like, how are you doing it? Because
So
I was
good
just trying
question.
to realize if it's something that affects based on the area that you are, and I think it does. Because, for example, if I
Yeah.
just Google right now wedding musician,
Mhm.
if I change my VPN, of course it changes my results.
Yep.
And you also get like sponsor results, stuff that it's like paying enterprises paying to be in the sponsor results,
Hmm.
and then you get the ones that are not sponsored, and sometimes a lot of them are repeated because it's like, well, I'm sponsored so much that I'm also the first click all the time, so after the sponsors I'm also at the top, right?
Yeah. I,
Because Google first puts you all the sponsors, and then it gives you the top results.
Right. Yeah. That's actually a tricky thing. So I'll explain it like this. Let's use a different niche. If you were looking for, oh, let's see, what's a really good example? If you were looking for a cell phone, if you were looking for an iPhone, okay, you can look for an iPhone from the Apple Store, or you can look for an iPhone in your from your local distributor, right? The VPN will change the results on the local, and what you want to do in this world of AI is you actually want to compete for like the just under the top tier, because the top tier is the top tier. Are you going to compete with Apple? Like if I was that store owner, would I try to compete with Apple's SEO tags that they already own, or would I try to compete with the market that's right under them? Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going for, let's say, in the saxophone world, to give you a more grounded example. I'm not going for luxury wedding saxophonist. I'm going for Austin Boston cocktail hour Afrobeats millennial, or something. You see how it's like general enough, but not going to catch everything.
I mean, it's specific though. It's not like wedding musician, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
And Dennis, I have a good analogy for
go for it.
SEO, AEO, and GEO.
Yeah, please.
So, Google created SEO, the concept and the reality. And so, a good way to think about it, they created the amphitheater. They set the stage, and so that's SEO. AEO is answer engine optimization, and that is people. How many people are coming to the amphitheater, and how are you listed? Like, someone asked on Gemini, who is a saxophonist musician in this area? That's AEO. It just lists. If someone asks with GEO, generative, this is not perfect to one, but this is just a good frame of thinking about it. Generative is they ask about the qualities, the sentiment. It's like, who are the best musicians in my area? And so that's how well the people who performed in the amphitheater did. And so those are the things that the three categories that you're thinking about is, what are the stages that I'm showing up on? How much context do I have about myself and my profession on the internet? That's AEO. And I might have switched to AEO and GEO. Doesn't matter. It's just a frame. And then how much people, what are the testimonials that people think about me in that context? That's the ratings, and if people are going to come back to the amphitheater after the fact.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's a good way of thinking about it
yeah.
without getting too technical.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
no, that makes sense. It's actually easier to understand like that. When you say stages, it's keywords, right? Like if I write wedding or wedding musician, it's kind of like hashtags, but it's Google tags or Google
Right.
search.
There's layers. So Google, to be technical, SEO has it's like H1 through 6. And if you're able to match their layers with their way of signaling what to show to whom, the more you can understand that, the more you can communicate that to your agent, the more that you can have your, when I say your agent, say you're using a Gemini or Claude or Chat Codex to make your website, you tell them, hey, use this methodology to my brand, make those changes, and that's new SEO. You don't need to pay, for example, someone $1,500 a month anymore like they did in 2013 for SEO. It's just not the reality.
yeah.
And when you say 6 layers, like is it from general to specific in the sense of like if I search wedding, that's one layer and it's gonna send me to everything that is wedding and it's gonna be like, I don't know, the most or the first stuff that someone that is looking for a wedding is wedding venues. And then the
It's an
second stuff
attention
is
value ladder. It's actually pretty similar to the value ladder we were just talking about, Denison, is that what is the key word that the person wants to see and is assuming that will bring them to their desired outcome. And so it does a attention value ladder from H1 to H6, depending on the assumed attention and also the ability of the word shown on the screen to keep the user on the page and to successfully get them to their desired outcome.
Gotcha. So it is attention based. Same
A
as social
hundred
media.
percent.
It's like a
Yeah,
social
query based.
platform.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
SQL.
That's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing. It's like it's people are like that's what's nice about it. It's like you're not competing with the internet. You're competing with how clear other people are who are doing something similar to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I know
True.
she's gonna say wedding saxophone is Boston, like I need to put that in my landing page. I need to put that in the when it's headings H1 to H6. Those are actual things that Google is looking for, in the that's what I'm talking about. The agents are looking for to define what your page is and how to parse you out. So if you tap into those H1s and all that in a smart way relative to your competition, especially, shout out to my competition in Austin, Texas, who I totally researched and reverse engineered. You think about like how they are found. You think, okay, what differentiates me, and what is a bride going to do to find either of us, and what's going to show us as different? Like you're like now you're like kind of. I did listen. I didn't like figure out my own SEO. I asked the question to my agent, told it to do the research on my competition, found my 1% skill in that thing, and then built my website based on that. So that's where the things are connecting, right? It's like, okay, oh, he has Afro beats and he's a millennial. He understands hip hop a little bit more, right? Because I noticed that was a thing. If I said it, that'll be different than other people. So it's like that you're playing the game of like wedging in, and then they'll find you, and then they'll at least they'll have the option. The other thing I'll say about that is that those top in at least in our niche of wedding, if we wanted to do that, the first thing that they're going to find is the knot, wedding wire, and whatever, all the things, right? That's another search engine that's harder to do. So
Yeah.
and then I never use the first option in Google. Do you? I don't.
No, never.
I never do. Right? So other people are the same way. They're like, get me to what I want. And if you're the what I want and it looks like it in one sentence, click, close.
Right.
And a good way to think about how they actually tune their algorithm, it's based on what we already unconsciously and subconsciously know as human beings. So, for example, when Dennison says a word that no one ever heard before in a context that has never been spoken about, it just all the novelty bells and whistles go off in our head. Google calibrates their algorithm in the same way. It's like, and also the on the layer on top of that, it's again its ability to bring the user to the desired outcome, and also a bunch of other stuff like hyperlinks, what's happening in the back end, how connected are things in the internet, things like that.
Oh, the hyperlinks game is another one. We should talk about that the next one here. And this next slide kind of gives a nice bow on it. The market leader, who I did research on, didn't win with a website. He actually was winning on the wedding sites and the knots, the other things like that. And I said, okay, well, how about I just don't compete there? And and it looks like something happened and worked out where I figured out that better SEO on my end without competing like that directly helped me out. Yeah, so I did. Yeah, I did do 4 weeks of plumbing, and my oh my goodness, my AI agent was like, your whole business is a mess. Basically, I don't have to go too far into that one, but plumbing before paint, right? Yeah, so that's why I went a little silent on my Instagram, and I realized that my everyone should also know Instagram is Googleable. So you're at Instagram, whatever it is. It's now basically treated like a website, and it is following SEO AEO rules, and a lot of people don't know that. For example, if you were tagging the venues that you are playing at in your captions on Instagram, then you are now backlinking to your Instagram, which actually strengthens your connection to the venues that you want to play at. I hope that makes sense. Right? So plumbing before paint, Act Two, the call. So the obvious offer. This is getting into offers. I knew what the market average was, and if I did exactly what my competition does, the average competition, not the best, but the mean, then I would be competing in this range for weddings, which is average. I'll say it that way. It's literally the average. So this is where we get into differentiating. You don't sell the instrument, you sell the experience, the arc. I was talking about the experience of what it is like for me to understand how guests interact with people and musicians in a way that's unobtrusive and perfect. And I'm finding the words in the mind's eye of the person I'm talking to as to what they want to hear and what I know I can do, because it's not like I'm BSing them. It's just I have to use the words that make them understand that that they're heard. And usually it's asking them questions and reflecting back their questions and writing down in notes and then putting together an offer. That's actually as simple as I can make it. So you're not booking a musician, you're directing the room. You're like, essentially, you are selling the service of ease and music is surrounding you. Sell the experience. So the ceremony as a modulated piece, yeah. So what's interesting is that on my website, I made the music follow the experience of the day. So even more of like playing with their mind's eye, right? I'm saying you want to say, like, you want to show them what the night's like. And they, like, by the time they're in I built my website to feel like it's a gallery and you're literally walking from ceremony to reception, because it's like that's what's happening. That's what they're planning. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if they could see you throughout the whole night in their mind's eye? So that's basically what this is. And I can send these slides to all of you. I could publish this when I'm ready. So this is interesting. This is what my agent said to do. It said, you're not selling saxophone player. You're selling audio direction. You're selling music director. You're selling vibe curation. Like, because you want to use words that differentiate from your competition. A lot of people don't understand that the difference between, I'll say it this way, the thing that they bring and connecting that to the dream of their client is more important than your skill. That, like, and it's so hard because some people are so technically beautiful musicians, right? And they cannot talk to people, and this is where they fail, which is genuinely unfortunate. But those ones that get the gigs, they nail this.
Every single time it comes back to presentation and your ability to bridge between where your uncopyable edge to their forward, or their forward edge of what they're looking to move into.
Yeah, this one actually, I just want people to read it.
Yeah, I like that. Though obviously, I like the part that says reverse engineer the night.
Yeah, yeah, the mind's eye thing. So, and I never pitch. It is true that whoever says the number first loses. But if you could sell someone without saying numbers, whoo, okay. This is the what is it? What was the question that we helped Nolan with the other day, Chandler?
Yeah, we were telling him you have to genuinely care about the lived experience of the person that you're talking to. And it's even more advanced than that is you're not even, you're, of course, you're talking to the person. I'm going to preface that in prime with that being said, but you're not even talking to the person. You're talking to the very thing that brought them to the seat or the booking call in the first place. You're talking to that. If you're in a spiritual space, Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. It's like you're kind of talking to their pain body. And so the more you can speak to that part of them was feeling that feeling, and then you're helping resolve the story arc of that feeling to its resolve. That's it. You're just a conduit for their life and their experience, and you're helping set the stage. It's like you're rolling the red carpet for their beautiful experience that they're having. And the more you can have that butler mentality, that I'm your facilitator, I'm guiding and protecting you on this beautiful experience, the more they're going to get warm and fuzzies, and you'll take them all the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's this book I can't wait to read, but I love the title already. It's a business book about selling, and it's called Don't Make Me Think. And I'm like, I already know I want to read this book. Like it's like I already know because it's true. Like any time it's like, oh, you ever spend money? You're like, how did I spend that money? Like they made it so easy for you to not think. They're like, well, yeah, yep, that's nice, thank you. They just extracted, and you're like, and you're happy the whole time. You're like, wait a minute, that was $350. So you're like boom, right? They nailed an experience, and that's what you paid for. You paid for the whole thing. So it's a beautiful way to think about this. And we're almost done to the end. So here it is. So what it is, it's a concierge service. Like I love one of our bandmates uses the term concierge, and this is the spirit of it, right? It's like I am now that I know what you want because you showed me and told me everything about how I am part of your thing, and I showed you how like and you feel that this is all right and everything. Like okay, cool. The question is, which do you like? Not how much do you want to spend. Like, would you like this aspect of the service I can offer you, or would you like this one? And you know that you don't lose either way because you're not saying, are you going to hire me or not? You're saying, which of my services would you like to see at this beautiful event that we just planned together? It's a whole different vibe, right? And then I actually want to hold this one for the next one because that's actually a perfect moment to stop because the quotes and all like that can get down a rabbit hole. But that was a lot of like the idea of how you can go from cold to proof to a call without speaking to somebody, making it seamless. That first 5 minutes is super important. It's crazy how important it is. Like the amount of gigs I lost and okay, I don't even say it this way. What happens if you don't respond in 5 minutes? What are they going to do? Are they going to wait for you, or what are they going to do?
Keep looking.
They're going to go to Google search number 3.
Yeah, and call.
And whoever picks up first is the person they're going to go work with X%.
Hopefully, if they do their work.
Yeah, but you know, you kind of lost your chance because now you're the second person to talk to them. You know, you're like, so that's the scoop there. So I just think it's really important to have those conversion things and all of that. So now I'm just going to open it up. I hope that helps in a little bit. I'll do the quote thing a little on another call because that could go down the rabbit hole. I want to dig in on that. But that's the idea of going from cold through a funnel into a proven beautiful system. Great SEO using simple tools.
Oscar, tell me, do you play? Are you a musician? I mean, I know you said you went on that interview. I'd love to
Yeah,
hear about that.
yeah, I'm a
More
musician
about
full time right now, like just performing, singing and playing piano. I applied for a teaching position back in my hometown in Monterrey, Mexico.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Or where are you at currently?
Thank you. I'm based in Boston. I'm living in Boston right now. I know Denison and is Paige still here? Yes, she is. We're playing this in the same band in Flipside. We
So,
definitely hang a lot on
what's like
stage.
the hangout spot? What's the like local hangout spot in Boston?
Oh, for us, the
Yeah,
wedding, like
wedding.
playing.
Which is what just
Uh,
show up, wedding crasher
a
style.
Tesla
Hey guys, what's up?
Dessert table. That's where you'll find us.
at the dessert table.
Dessert
Oh, the
table.
desserts. Got that sweet tooth, Paige. I hear
Facts.
you.
No, to be honest, like
Got that
I
middle
mean,
child energy.
yeah, it's funny. I had a coworker, a musician that used to say, "Yeah, we rehearse every week at the gig." Like it's kind of like we have this chemistry already. Like the band sounds pretty great. Is getting booked a lot, so we hang at work. Because playing at weddings can feel like a hang, can feel like a party easily. It should at least. So it gets really fun, to be honest. Sometimes we forget that we're working until we have to drive back.
Yeah, like yeah. And like Denison, I wanted to touch on like what like Oscar and you pointed to it. It's like when you're like in like the party and you're having like a good time, you're dancing, you're playing, you're talking to people. It's like, what's the one thing that you're not thinking about when you're in the moment? You're not thinking about conversions. You're not thinking about the freaking, yeah, money. You're not, you might if you're, but
No,
you're
not
not.
really. Like I guess thankfully there has not been a gig like that in at least a year that you're like, okay, remember this is work. Like you can have bad days at work. Like we have had bad experiences, of course. Like there's been bad days at weddings, like a very difficult bride or something. But no, I would say I think about like how great we sound. Sometimes I'm like, wow, we do sound really great. Like I get why people book us. I also get to say like, oh my God, Dennis is like really rocking this solo, or really rocking this song. Paige is really sounding amazing. Like we get to hype each other up a lot because we work together a lot. So we know when we're having a bad day performance wise, or when someone's sick, or when somebody's going through a difficult situation. It's kind of like a team in that sense. I would say I'm thinking mostly about that, mostly about like how can I make this personal about me? Like it's the most important day of their lives for the people that are getting married. It's full of people that really care about those people. So you're a stranger in their lives, but you're present in one of the most important days of their lives. So how can you not become a stranger? And that's how I would say Flipside gets booked, through the reference of, oh, like these people seem like their family, because that's how you treat them and that's how you perform to them. You're not only, where's the hardest part? Yeah, sometimes it sells.
That's
It's
the
like
next call, Dennis, and that's the after party. You're skipping ahead, bro.
no, in the end, it's about like paying attention when they're speaking in the toasts, like getting to know why they chose the songs they sung. They chose the songs they chose to dance. It tells a lot about them, and you get to meet people at their most vulnerable, but not vulnerable. They're most emotionally open, because you get to see the father of the bride speak and be and cry like in front of all their relatives and some strangers, because it's the other side of the family. So it's a very human moment that you get to expect, that you get to spectate from all these people, and I really enjoy it. Like it feels like we get to experience humanity every day at work.
Mhm. Music is the ultimate bridge.
Dude, I love the way you said that. I had a moment. I was like, how it was the energy of like, oh, this world is going to heck, and no, no, and how could we be celebrating this? And then in the middle of the wedding, I was like, oh yeah, because this is more human than anything else that we're projected on and everything. That's like, this is real. And even for the moments, like, isn't it nice that this power of music and this power of togetherness is like, it's is unaffected by the BS around. And I was like, wow, this is even more sacred because of this, and because of the crap in the world. It's more sacred that people are like, no, there's still love here, and we're gonna get married, and like, and we could still leave it all there. I'm sure the news cycles are gonna be news cycling as soon as we get back in the car, right? But it's just nice to have those moments where it's like, yeah, like they really meant that. That was a really beautiful speech. Oh, that was a good dance. Oh, they were practicing, and all the stories and everything. And what's even more amazing is like we are in their family story, like literally forever.
Yeah.
Like it's just so beautiful, all of those things.
Yeah, there has been the we already come in a circle that is like, oh, all the friends from the group, they're like, oh, this person got married, the band from there was amazing. So we start seeing other brides and other grooms in others' weddings, and it feels like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in such a long time when I have only seen them for 4 hours in my life. It's kinda like, what do you mean? And they feel that way as well. So it's definitely, what's the word? Fulfilling emotionally.
I'm very heartwarming. The
It is.
experience of going and seeing people with such a, because when you go to a wedding, you're very, there's a lot of nerves, right? There's a lot of like, oh wow, this is a big decision. And then when it all comes together and like, some people are drinking, people are dancing, and everyone like kind of like flows into their own space. And like, as the musicians there, you're literally the ones setting the tempo of how everything is flowing. And That's to me, that's the epitome of the human experience. It's we we get with all the noise out in the world, we can put on our headphones and tune into our favorite song or tune into uh, Dennison's nice Blues Prince CEO podcast or whatever life share. I had to bring it back and see it.
It's what's nice about this is it's all relevant. We started off with the big meta because it is super important. I do have a spiritual lens of it, but it was actually really more of a visual thing. I loved because it's nice to have something that feels tangible in this brain of mine. It fits the structure, but it's like it's all, and that's what it's all for. That's the whole point, right? Like if you know that you could deliver that, in Boston, Austin, Texas, like what in Mexico, in Montreal, like if you know that you have that, that's kind of what I mean. It's like we get so caught up on the technical things, and yes, people care, but the technical stuff, what I've noticed is that it's there so that the experience is seamless, not so that people are like, oh, look at your cool website. It's really like, is it easy to work with you? Well, was it easy to get to you? Oh, well then, if the whole experience was easy, then that vibe is there. So,
Can we talk about that? Can we talk
but,
about
but
like that's what I'm most passionate about, by the way, is you know, uh, Dennison introduced me as an agentic operator in the tech space, for sure. But my heart's in the soil. I'm a soil practitioner. I'm a soil consultant. I'm a fungal nerd. I like looking at the interactions between bacteria and fungi and how you can have an abundant garden space. And one thing that is very interesting to me, with similar with soil, is a lot of what's actually valuable is unseen. And that's by design. And the more we can honor that mystery and the unseen parts of, like for example, with AI, a, a lot of the tech base is very like we have to know every nuance, like we have to learn more to earn more. And it's just I'm passionate about making it to where it's like it's so seamless, and also you can be the orchestrator of your own tech. You can be the orchestrator of your own website. You can actually be sovereign. You don't have to pay $200 a month with subscription to someone who doesn't care about your well-being or the wedding that you just went to last weekend. That's
yeah,
and that's the world that we're tuning into, fortunately, with all the noise and all the chaos. That's what I'm excited about.
yeah. What's interesting is that you know, I think I figured out why we vibe, Chandler, because we approach
Finally tuned in.
our technology from the field that we came from, and you literally. But
Yeah. Yeah.
sorry, everybody. Dad jokes. I was a teacher,
And we
but
also play sax. I played sax in
yeah,
ninth grade and 10th grade.
yeah. But it's interesting to have those analogies, right? Like I get so much flack online because I'm talking about AI, but it's like I wish I could drop those people in the middle of my brain to understand. It's like this. It's all one thing to me. But it's never. I don't drop the saxophone because now I could prompt a AI model to play it. That's not, no. I know what my humanity is. Like that's why I don't have any problem using the technology to balance it. I have this thing called the barbell thesis, that essentially the bar is your business, and on one side you have your humanity, the thing that is absolutely irreplaceable. That's your sigil bloom. That's all that. And then there's all the agentic systems that keep it balanced. Where it's like, do you really want to have to email people, and do you really want to have to respond to a text within 5 minutes because you know that you're going to lose this gig, like if you don't, like, or do you want to have an agentic system that says, hey yo, what's going on, love to talk to you, book a calendar here, we'll talk on Monday, because and at least have someone feel like, oh, like this person's on it, and at the same time they looked at your Instagram like, wait, this person's live on Saturday, and you respond. Like, people notice these things, and especially in this world where we're going into, it's like, are you keeping your humanity, or are you just outsourcing it to AI? The bad art is completely outsourced, no human. The humans that fail in business in the future, in my opinion, but it's also data, are completely human, drop the technology, and they're like, oh, well, I should just be good enough and it's fine. It's like, no, like,
So it's not about the brand read that I have and the kind of instrument. So I don't need a Yamaha to be successful.
Just so you know, everybody, Chandler tries to rage bait me all of the time. He's like, "Yeah, man, that saxophone sounds good." You hear that, Ebony? He says you sound good. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I can't wait, Denison, for us to get to the point where we can like have like we can play our saxophones in the studio and like have our like soundboard and like tune it. Like
and
that's my goal,
yeah,
man.
and have our Tesla robots conduct the band or something like that. Totally, I'm
Well,
in.
it's like yeah, it's like all of a sudden it's like no, I'm not gonna go in there. I'm gonna stop myself.
What a beautiful session, y'all. Here's what I can do for you, because if okay, first of all, please everybody join my community. It's a free community. I think this is the lesson that I made this morning because it happened to me just now. If these workflows sound like they would fit you, actually just drop one in the chat. If anybody wants to see this workflow in format, I can do this in a way that's like accessible to other people. I can show you the process of the Google SEO and just make it templated because it took me a year to get to this clarity. If you agree with the system that it makes sense, it might take you just a month to put it all together with the right formats. You know, most of the time it's just a matter of like figuring out what that skill is, and I'll walk you through it. That's going to be in my school community, and I'll make sure it's there. So everyone make sure to join the Blues People, and it's called the Blues People AI, and on school, and if it's gonna this is gonna be on YouTube, so it'll be also in the description below. So if anyone needs that skill, have any questions, I'm very easy to find. It's bluesprints.ai, it's denison.blackett, it's bluesprintsmedia.com, and I don't know, Chandler, what do we got? Any words of wisdom?
I just was about to put in chat the who here uses AI? Like who actually like talks to their agents about business and uses their agents?
I do.
You do? Who doesn't? Is there any? They yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think Chelsea used it like twice so far.
I need to get up on the actual agent implementation.
Yeah, it's so much easier than people have concept like in their mind. It's like once you understand that it's just like talking to a person, and the differentiator, just to cut through all of it, is your ability to be clear on your intention. That's it. That's what differentiates good agent use and agent use that doesn't get you anywhere.
Sure. And I'll give you the opposite because sometimes you get to that clarity through being completely brainstorming random. The conversations I had with ChatGPT like back in the day, it sounded probably like a toddler learning English, and I was just like blurting out ideas. But what's nice about it is that its goal is to structure your thoughts. So, and the more I did it, the more my thoughts became structured, but also the more brainstorms came out, the more flow came out. So it was catching ideas that I wouldn't have caught if I was trying to be all formal about it, and it does a really beautiful thing. So I say max out your subscriptions.
What a rebel.
Yeah, what a rebel, right? Defiance, right? You know,
Defiance.
I get mad when my agents correct my grammar. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. You know, because it's like there's a reason why I put the word like, but you know, your relationship with your AI really does develop. There's a whole system and that's behind the system, obviously, right? Like I am coding things and doing all that. But what's nice is the simple concepts are extremely effective when it comes to smaller niche markets, when it comes to knowing who you are and how to stand out. If you have great, like for musicians, if you have great media and a website that has decent SEO, you're kicking the butt of everybody, unless they watched this video and it took some action.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
Yeah.
Just get out there, take action with your new instrument.
Yeah. So yeah, that's beautiful. I'm gonna create those skills. So yeah, definitely. I'm sorry I don't have the link to the blues people just yet, but I will put this up on the YouTube, and we'll have this all available. Everyone, I really appreciate this session. This was a beautiful beautiful arc of a session. I expected 1 hour. We got 2 good hours out of this, and I can't thank you enough. We'll be here every Thursday, is my promise, because we're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Thursday, 4 o'clock. The school community is always there for us. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Chandler. Chandler, drop that in the chat. Don't worry, it's like a little questionnaire to make sure there's no bots, because school has a bots problem. So other than that, peace and blessings. All of you know how to find me, and if you don't, you know, I don't know why.
Have a good one, everyone. Nice to meet you.
All right, thanks, Oscar. We'll
Much
talk
love.
For
soon.
everything.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Later, Paige.
Thank you.
Nice to meet everybody. I hope to be at the next section. I was at work.
Oh, no worries, bro. We'll see you. We'll see you the next time.
All right.
Dennis, can you stay on the call?